wrote this post on Instagram. I know some of you are going to be like really offended because I showed an Israeli flag. So like just putting that out there from the beginning. But I wrote this post for Instagram and I pinned it to the top of my page. And it's all about what Zionism actually means. And I pinned it to the top of my page for a few reasons. Number one, so people know that I am a Zionist, that people know that I believe in the Jewish homeland. Because for some reason, people are just like shocked when they find out that an Orthodox Jew is a Zionist when a majority of us are. In fact, a majority of Jewish people in the world are Zionists. Even Jewish people who are opposed to the Israeli government, which I totally understand, can still believe in Israel as the Jewish homeland. And that's really what Zionism is all about. So I'm going to read you that post for anybody who's not on Instagram or who doesn't want to go over to Instagram. I know it can be a lot of work sometimes. And I know some of you are going to comment that you don't like the history I'm sharing, that you say it's not the history, but this is the real history. It's history. It's what's out there. When you walk in Israel, every step you take, if you dig something up, you will find artifacts from Israel, from Judea, from the Jewish people who've lived there for thousands of years. Okay, but let me read it to you. For thousands of years, the land of Israel has taken on many rulers. The Babylonians exiled the Jewish people around 600 BCE. We returned to the land under Persian rule. Then under Greek rule, Greek rulers tried to force Greek worship on the Jews, and that is the story of Hanukkah. Then the Romans exiled the Jews once again. For over 2,000 years, the Jews lived in a foreign land where they were never accepted and regularly suffered anti-Semitic persecution. I didn't add this here, but Jews always did live in the land of Israel, or Judea, or whatever you wanted to call it at the time, but most of us were kicked out. There was always Jewish people living on the land. I'm skipping over a lot of details and trying to keep it really simple for the sake of understanding why the Jewish people believe so strongly that Israel is our home. And I also want to be clear that this doesn't mean that Arabs weren't also living on the land at certain points. And to people who say, I know this isn't what's written here either, but to people who say that, with the Holocaust, that Palestinians welcomed Jewish people into the land, it wasn't Arab Palestinians who were only living in the land that the British occupied, called the British mandated Palestine. There were Jews living there too. It wasn't Arab Palestinians alone. Everyone who lived in that land at that time was called a Palestinian. All right, I'm going to keep reading. I want to make a few things very clear. Being a Zionist is separate from supporting the policies of the Israel government. You can support the state of Israel and also criticize its government. All Jews are not Zionists, though a majority of us are. If you believe the Jewish people should be kicked out of Israel, you are not anti-Zionist, you are anti-Semitic. If you attack Jews around the world because of your anger over the conflict in the Middle East, you are anti-Semitic. I know not everybody likes to hear that, but sometimes the truth hurts. You can want Palestinians to be free, but also not want all the Jews kicked out of Israel, or worse. Okay, not everyone living in Israel is Jewish, and not everyone is religious. Zionists do not want people who aren't Jewish kicked out of Israel. That is not our goal. Israel is a melting pot of Jews and Muslims and Christians and Druze and more. You don't have to be Jewish to be a Zionist. I know that I'm going to get people in the comments who are going to fight me, and that's fine. But for those of you who are really, truly willing to listen and learn, that's why I wanted to share this. The word Zionism was actually stolen from us and taken to mean something different than it is. And when I say that I'm a proud Zionist, it's because of what I just shared with you here. This is what I mean when I say it, not that I support everything the government does. In fact, the government in Israel, it's all so confusing that there's a lot of things I just don't even understand. So that's it. I hope you learned something here today.